Hi there. For this demonstration, we're going to go over the skills and tasks you need to be able to earn your Google Forms 2.0 badge. In this demonstration, we're going to have the instructions show up on the left, and where we're working is going to be on the right. So the first step we need to do is open a Google form. To do that, I'm going to open a new tab. There are 3 ways, and probably more, to access Google Forms. So the first one is forms.google.com. If you type that in your URL and hit enter, it will take you to the Google Forms landing page. And if you want to start a new form, the first one says blank and it has a plus sign. When you click on it, it will open a blank Google form for you. Another way to open Google Forms is to go to the Google Apps, which is also sometimes called the waffle or grid of 9. If you click on it and open it and scroll down until you see the Forms icon and click on it, it will open up the same landing page for Google Forms, and you can hit Start a New Form blank at the top. New tab, if you type in forms.new in your URL and hit enter, this will open up a blank Google form, so you don't have to click on blank when you land on the Google Forms landing page. So the first thing it asks us to do is create a form titled feedback form. So over here, I'm going to go to this tab that I have open that has untitled form, and I'm going to click and type in feedback form. So once you finish typing it, if you hit tab and tab out of that field, it will also name your form, what you called it and what you've saved it at the same time. This next task on our list is to change the theme of the form. To change the theme of a form, you click on the color palette, and when you hover over it, it says customize theme. You have several options here to edit. You have the text style, so you can change the header to be whatever you want it to be. And I've changed the theme of this form, so I'm going to get out of it. The next task is number 3. It says configure the form so that it is accessible outside your domain and sends responders a copy of their response. So if we go back over here, we're going to go to settings, and we're looking at responses. So the first thing it asks us to do is to make sure it's accessible outside your domain and send responders a copy of their response. So the first thing, it is restricted to users in Suffolk Public Schools and its trusted organizations. This is the domain for Suffolk Public Schools. If you want to be able to receive responses from those outside of Suffolk, you need to slide this off. So right now it's a toggled on, and toggled off is to the left. The other thing it says is it wants to send responders a copy of their response. If you go back up here a little bit, it says send responders a copy of their response. Right now it's off. If you click on the drop-down arrow, you have options to send when requested or always. And in number 4, it says add the following questions: name, short answer, and make it a required question. So we're going to add name, and when I type the word name in here, it goes to short answer by default. It is also already required. When it is the required slider is on, it is to the right. When it is off, it is to the left. The next thing it says to do, which training session did you attend? Add the following multiple choice responses, and it's a required question as well. So to make this easier, I'm just going to copy this text. I'm going to add another question. And my next question is going to say, which training session did you attend? And it asked us to make this question multiple choice. When we typed that in or copied the text over, it left it at multiple choice. But if we needed to change it, we would change it over here on the right by clicking the drop-down menu. Once we have that selected, multiple choice responses that we're looking for. So the first one says getting started with Google Forms. And my first option is going to be getting started with Google Forms. It also asked us to add an image to this response. So for that, I completed a Google search and was able to locate the image for Google Forms. So over here on the right, if I want to add an image for this answer or this response in the multiple choice, I'm going to click add image. I can upload a picture here. When I do that, I already have Google Forms down here, so I'm going to include it, hit open. When I hit open, it does its thing and it adds the image in with this answer choice. I need to keep going. All right, so we did a name. We've added a question, which training session did you attend, with these responses. Next, for number 5, it says create a section titled Getting Started with Google Forms Feedback. All right, so to add another section within a Google form, it looks like an equal sign at the bottom of our toolbar on the right. So if we click on Add Section, we'll notice that there is a break here, and then we have a section 2. So in this section, we're going to title it Getting Started with Google Forms Feedback. So I'm going to bring it over here and title the section Getting Started with Google Forms Feedback. Next step in number 5 says add the following questions to the section. So rate the session. In this section, I'm going to add a new question. So add a question at the top. It looks like a plus sign. Rate the session, and it changed it to a linear scale. But if you're to change that in the drop down from linear scale to checkboxes. The first option is going to be very good. The second option says good. The third option says fair. We're going to repeat these steps and create a section for Getting Started with Google Slides feedback and Jamboard with the ITRT's feedback. Number 6 asks us to add a section based on answers to the questions, which training session did you attend, that you created in step 4. So to do this, I'm going to go back to the original question, and the very first question said, which training session did you attend? This is our first question. It had pictures, so you have to scroll down just a little bit, and there are 3 dots for more options in the bottom right corner. And we are going to go to section based on answer. So when I click on this, it adds another section right next to the question. So Getting Started with Google Forms, we want to continue to the next section called Getting Started with Google Forms Feedback. If someone selects this answer, it will go to section 2. So we've already determined where people are going to go in this form based on their answers. After they answer those questions in those different sections, here's section 2, we don't want it to continue to the next section. After they're done with section 2, we want them to be able to submit the form. They are done. They've completed the questionnaire. All right, we have changed that to where it submits the form after every question. Next, we need to preview the form. To view the form, you need to click on it. The icon looks like an eyeball when we do that. The question asks me for my email address. So I include my work one, my name, and which training session did I attend? Well, I attended Getting Started with Google Forms. So when I hit next, it should ask me the questions about the Google Forms section. So filled in these questions, and now I have the submit button. All right, so I just tested my form for that pathway. So now I can test another one by hitting submit another response. I tried the form out, I previewed it, I checked the output by making various selections. The next step says submit link to form as evidence of completion. Right below the video, you'll see click here to request a badge. Thank you for watching this video on how to complete tasks to earn Google Forms 2.0 badge.